Yeah, I had this problem. I don't know if you know this, but the first time I received. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another review of Arachnoboards chat or discussions, whatever you may call it. This is part 2. Again, I have my friend Matits with me.
Oh, hello.
And we will be going through some newest discussions that were on the forum. So the first one is very common, I think, by beginners. Basically, the user picked up a new tarantula and it didn't eat, and they're worried it's not okay. So my discussion about this and my opinion, it is, if tarantula doesn't eat, you can't really force it, and you should just leave it alone, and when it wants to eat, it will eat. That's most of the slinks for me, at least. I know Poecilotheria slinks are notorious. It's the juvenile. What is DLS is what? 2-inch. It's not it's not the normal LS leg span. What is DLS? Diagonal leg span?
Diagonal, yeah.
So it's small still. That's 4 centimeters, I guess, if it's diagonal, something like that. It's still considered a slink or juvenile. What I would do is, if you feed them crickets, I mean, it's not the best idea because crickets are notorious to eat or bite tarantulas if they're in pre-molt or in molt. So, but you know, if you take it out, it's okay. What I would do is pre-kill a cricket, leave it in the enclosure somewhere where you know tarantula is hanging behind or on top of the cork bark, and just leave it be, because it will eat it when it's hungry. That's my opinion. But that is also a huge enclosure for a small tarantula, I think.
Yeah, I think in most cases there, when you buy a spider, it has traveled a lot, and also it has been on a show or like exhibition for a long time, and it's probably just settling in, so she's not gonna eat like right away. Like tarantulas eat not very often, so especially if it has had like a time where she's been stressed and stuff. So, and you can't possibly know as well, like how often did the previous owner fed it, right? So he could be like fed all the time, and now it's just trying to get some space. You know what I mean? Like some space.
Yeah, I agree. And it's not looking like it's skinny. It's looking pretty plump as well. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Yeah, just let it be, and maybe once a week. I mean, if it doesn't eat for half a year, then yeah, it's a bad thing. But with all worlds, it's usually a month or two. If they don't eat, just leave a cricket or whatever you feed them somewhere where she can reach it, and it will be fine. I'm
Like
sure.
we had spiders that didn't eat for a year, right? So like it's
Yes, I mean, I had, I don't know, it's not Liltucatl, but it is an unknown species that I have, that I got. I think it was my 4th tarantula, and it didn't. She molted recently, and it was after 3 years now. So it molted in October 2023, the last time, and she was perfectly fine. She didn't eat right now for 2 years, but now she molted and it's fine. So yeah, don't worry about the teas too much. If they don't eat, it's gonna be fine. So yeah, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, fungal growth. What is fungal growth? Okay, if you have okay, shoes. Well, my opinion is that on shrooms in the enclosure it's I don't know, it never bothered tarantulas, and I just took them out. Did you have any experience with mushrooms growing in tarantula enclosures?
So my enclosures are usually really moist, right? But
Yeah.
I have like species that usually live in more moist in more moist environments, so like amphibious and stuff like that. And it's always like a bio terrarium with a lot of vegetation and stuff like that, and there's always spores, you know, like it just comes and goes. Like I used to have big problems at the start, then with adding more and more flowers, or I mean not flowers but like certain like uh, what should I say, different grasses and stuff like that, like it just evened out. I think a lot of it helped with some springtails as well and isopods, like they're a great killer of spores and stuff. That's like, but after all, like there has been spores in many enclosures which just die out over time, you know? Like if a spore is growing, it just means that the ecosystem is thriving in the terrarium. Like in nature, there's a lot of spores as well. Like tarantula lives next to spores, and I don't think it's anything bad. Like I've never experienced a tarantula having issues with it, right? So
Yeah, I think the mushrooms growing in your enclosure is kind of a good thing because it shows the growth and the the growth, not the growth, the the dirt is good quality and it can produce everything. So even if you plant some plants in it, it will grow better because of it. So it's a good that was I was looking for the word soil. The soil is good quality. So yeah, I don't think I have a lot of Asian tarantulas as well, and they require more humidity, and there was a lot of shrooms in there, and I never had problems with these. Basically, they just ignore them. So I don't think mushrooms are as much of a problem as I think people think they are. I don't think I would even dry it out. I would just dig up the mycelium where the mushrooms are located and just take it out. But you give them in as well. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, if you had like dirt in front of your yard, right, and it nothing would be grown, like
Yeah.
grass or even fungi, like what would you say? Like it's a bad dirt, right?
Yeah.
So if stuff is growing out of your dirt, it just means it's a good dirt, right? We eat mushrooms as well as people, right? Not each one of them, right? But still, like it just doesn't affect it at all. Like there's no proven cases where it would affect a tarantula. So mm, it's just. I think it's okay. Like it's sometimes it's disgusting to look at it, right? It's like not even appealing to the eye. I know that you want to take it out, but sometimes you just can't. I mean, the big mushroom, you can take it out, like you would pick up a mushroom from the forest, but those small bits, like they are just gonna stay there. So if you want to get rid of it, just get some isobots, some springtails. It's gonna like go away in like 2 weeks probably.
Yeah. Great. Not much more to say about that. So let's move on to the next one. Okay. Exhaustion, heat exhaustion. Yeah. I had this problem. I don't know if you know this, but the first time I received Teraposa apophis from Spider World, it arrived in a blacked out UPS van and it was half dead. It was curled up, it was in death curl. It was still alive, but it was barely moving. But it wasn't on its back, so it's kind of a weird photo. I don't know how they ended up on their back, but yeah, tarantulas can get overheated. I don't know where you live that you need AC to keep your tarantulas alive. That's kind of a weird one, but I mean, at work, you can keep your tarantulas at work. That's nice. But yeah, I don't know. How hot was it at your workplace that tarantulas died? Basically, in what is this, Eastern Europe, there is not a lot of places that have AC at home. So in the summer, it gets like 35 degrees, or even not 35, but like 25 to 30 degrees inside, because we don't conventionally have AC everywhere. And tarantulas are fine with that. I don't know how hot it was at your place, but yeah, when
mean,
I was
I,
with, yeah, you can.
I've never seen something like this. Like, and that two of it, like 2 out of 3. Like, isn't this a bit weird?
I mean, the first thing is, why are they on their back? I mean, watering it afterwards is like, I don't know. What I did with my Apophis immediately is put it in ICU, and I hoped for the best, and she did recover. So, but I told Spider World that UPS is not a good thing to ship them with, because blacked out vans in the middle of summer is like 35 degrees outside Celsius, and in the blacked out van it's like 40 in the back, or even more. So I mean, that was the reason why she overheated and almost died. But yeah, here I have no clue what happened.
There like any update on this topic? Like, did the person or anything?
They're what do you mean molting? I don't know.
I mean, there's no web of what web.
Yeah, because like usually when the tarantula molts, it makes a webbing, and it molts on it. But there's no webbing anywhere, so it's kind of weird. Let's see if there's more. What did the temperature? I mean, my AC. What is? What is? How much is that?
That's like 30.
35.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know. Tarantulas live in deserts easily. I don't know if that's like a thing.
Oh, this one molted, so
Okay.
it's just a mold.
I mean, that's more logical. Yeah, but that, I don't know. Maybe because it's is it a Vicularia? What is it? Or is it
I think the other one is GBB. Yeah.
I mean,
This one should-
GBB is notorious for being a Brazilian species that like dry environments. So I don't know.
But like it's small as a nail, right? So it could mold. It could be molting again.
Yeah, it's weird. It's I mean, yeah, whatever this is. It looks like, I don't know what this is even.
Colata probably. Or no, I don't know.
What is it? Does it say which tarantula is on the left? No. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's GBB, but what is the other one? I don't know. It's weird. I mean, yeah, the other one molted, but I mean, tarantulas are weird sometimes. Why did it molt when it got hotter? Why did this one die? Yeah, it's weird. Tarantulas are super weird. Like I had with my Rufilata. If you saw the last videos, she basically, I tried to save her when she was being impacted, and I saved the impaction, but then she started to molt and had no energy and died because she started to molt. So tarantulas are weird a lot of times, and I still, after keeping them for 7 years, I still don't fully understand sometimes why they do some stuff when, I mean, they're primitive animals, but yeah. I mean, quick temperatures, I don't know. It's a weird case, I would say. What do you think? Because I don't know. have much of a.
There's like no separate update after like 10 days, so I don't think like the member stopped responding because I'm checking this. So we don't know even what happened after it, right?
Again, stupid comments. Doesn't matter if it's moist or not. It should be dry, but the fact that it's moist and it has higher humidity than it should have, it didn't kill the tarantula. Okay, sure. Okay.
Like my parents literally go against all the laws that Arachnoboards tell that it's bad or that it's impossible for a tarantula to survive in, right? But I'll give you an example. Like my parents have about 15 to 20 Pamphobitius species at their house, and in the summertime they're all at like 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. Like there's no AC or anything like that.
Yeah.
It gets hot, it gets dry, it gets like to extreme measures, which everyone says it's not gonna go well, but they still molt, they still live. They have lived there for like 2 years now, and everything is going great. Like, and then for example, in the winter time, all of these Pamphobitius species live in like 15 to 20 degrees, right? Where everyone is saying that they're gonna die below 20, but they still live even at 15 degrees. It's probably not the best for them, and they do turn up the heat sometimes when they like turn up the oven with wood and stuff like that to get it warm, but they still outlive like the really extreme like small degrees, right? So I would say like the tarantulas, what goes for the like enclosure and outside like humidity status and temperatures, they can quite vary, right? If you had like a, I don't know, probably a reptile, for example, some lizard that needs heat, if you would leave it in a 15 degrees, he would die, right? But
Yep.
tarantula survives. So that it's just absurd how many comments there is on Arachnoboards questioning the temperature. What should temperature be? What is this? Yeah, it's recommended, like for human, it's recommended for it to be 25, but or 20, but it's still like we survive even without clothes in 15, right? It's just nature. Right? So this questions, what did I do wrong, what I did not do wrong. I mean, if you're gonna heat up a person with 40 plus degrees, it's not gonna go well, and it's the same for tarantulas.
Yeah, but it's funny that it could have maybe, but it is a coincidence, or maybe it triggered the tarantula to molt. So it's weird, but yeah, you never know with tarantulas what they are going to do and what should be the best way to keep them. It's not written in stars. It's never a certain way to keep them. Basically, find a way you want to keep them, or not want to keep them. Find some parameters what you should do and keep them the way you want to, and keep them alive. That's the best advice I can give to you. If they're alive and they're eating and molting and growing from slinks to adults, you're doing the right thing. Everything else doesn't really matter.
It's really hard to talk about this on YouTube or anywhere where you have so many tarantula keepers and they say, I don't know, the humidity needs to be this way, the degree Celsius or whatsoever needs to be this way. But At the end of the day, there's a tarantula keeper that's in Texas where they always have 30 to 35 degrees, right?
Yeah.
And then there's tarantula keepers that are in like our country where we have winters that are like, I don't know, -10, -15. And we have like, in my home, I have 60 to 70% humidity by not even sprinkling water in the air, right? Meanwhile, in Texas, they have 0 to 10% humidity when they have to, like, I don't know, sprinkle water like every day to keep it 50, 60. So it's hard to listen to these people and try to go along with their plan.
Yeah.
Because at the start, when I started doing this, I used to watch a lot of those videos and I was like, what am I gonna do? Like my house, my apartment is in 70, 80 like percent humidity all day. How am I gonna get it to 50? My tarantulas are gonna die. And then after month, month, and years, you just see they thrive as well. So it's just something where, so there's too many information which doesn't give like any appropriate answer. Um,
Yeah.
just keep them like as everyone does, like do a water dish, give it water, give it food. Don't worry about other stuff. Like it's just
Yeah.
gonna do well.
Agreed. Let's move on to the next topic, which is how to know when tarantula is molting. General tips. We discussed this. I mean, we discussed it pretty much we discussed it last time, and even in every topic. Tarantula usually, if everything is all right, it lays a webbing on the floor. It doesn't look the same as other webbing. It usually is like a pad or like a slight layer, and it's like the size of the tarantula. And then basically, even before that, tarantula stops eating. That's the quickest sign. Tarantula basically is going to mold. They stop eating. New World's abdomen. Yeah, I can find the photo. Yeah, so that's Tom Moran quick shout out. But yeah, basically their abdomen, they throw off urticanding hairs because they are about to molt. They know they're about to molt, and they throw out the hairs around where they're going to molt to protect themselves basically from predators. Their genetics is like that. Their abdomen starts to get black, even matte black in this case, but it doesn't usually get this black. And they usually fold back, yeah, like that, back. Usually fall on their back. Usually they lay on the back on the mat that they laid, and they molt in small tarantulas in 3 hours, and the older tarantulas can take up to 24 hours. It depends on the species and on their age. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not complicated. First sign is tarantula stops eating, then their abdomen gets black, and when they do, don't move them and touch them. Basically, that's my only advice. Miss the enclosure, maybe, if it's like a tarantula that requires high humidity. Make sure they have water dish, and that is basically it. I don't think there's more to add, but I mean, you can say if you have anything more to add here.
Yeah, I mean this is a nice like comparison what somewhere like pictured here. So the New World tarantulas, like it's really easy to see because they flicker their hair down, right? And they have like this really plump abdomens that are black.
Yeah.
And it usually like just means when you see this patch of like blackness on their bottom, they're gonna molt, right? So this is a really good sign. It's gonna happen really soon. But you can as well see tarantulas that have like really how would put this, like wide bottom, and they flicker their hair down. That means that they're really far away from it, but they can still stop eating, right? So with time, it just gets darker and darker. Meanwhile, some tarantulas just flicker their hair off and it's already dark, right? But then at the old world tarantulas, there's like species which are like, I don't know, let's say Monocentropus balfouri, which is really hard to tell that it is plump, right? Because usually Monocentropus balfouri are like really skinny on their abdomen, and you don't see like this plumpness or this black patch right on their bottom. So I would say even for beginners, it's really easy to notice that tarantulas is going into a mold segment at the new worlds, and then at the old worlds, like it takes just some like regular stuff, like tarantulas stop eating. It's not the same signs. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like not gonna be the same plumpness. It's not gonna be, I don't know. Like, did you ever see a Poecilotheria that is so plump and has a black um bottom? Did you see that?
No, not
Yeah, it's not like the same. But with this stuff, like um there's also fossorial tarantulas, which you cannot see their bottoms
yeah.
because they're underground all the time. But what my fossorials do when they go to mold, they usually cover their entrance with a lot of silk. So I know that she doesn't want to come out and eat, right? So she just wants to stay in there. And I'm saying to myself, okay, she's probably in pre-mold, because if she was hungry, she would open that up, right? So different parts of the world has different things that you can spot, but mostly it's just the non-eating habit that tells you that it's going to mold.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, maybe with Poecilotherias, you can see that they lose the coloring. It's not as intensive as it could be, but that's not really the case for sure, because a lot of Poecilotherias, when they get older, they just lose coloration. Like Metallica, I have experience with this. When they reach about 6 years, females, when they reach 6 years, they just turn to black color, and they only have blue coloration when they're freshly molted. So it's not really a good indication. Basically, what Matic says is really good, because yeah, the new worlds basically it's gonna flicker hairs, and old worlds it's gonna maybe go lethargic, but it's just not gonna eat. And they also make webbing on the floor where they're gonna lay. And fossorials, they just close up their entrance to their hole. So basically, you know by that. So yeah, it's really easy to spot it, and you can't really do much when they start to molt. You just hope for the best and really just hope
I can
molts.
see where he's putting the question out of. Like he's getting a new tarantula, right? And
Uh-huh.
as a new keeper, you're so energetic and like so hyped to see the tarantula molting, right? I was always like looking into the terrariums. I was like, okay, maybe it's gonna molt today, right? And then, oh, maybe it's gonna molt tomorrow and stuff like that. And you're just like checking it all the time. And then after I got like, oh, but I'm doing this like for a month or two now, and she's still not molting, and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna stop checking every day 5 times a day with my headlight. And then like you never spot it. Like I rarely spot a tarantula when it's molting at the right moment, right? So when she's starting to molt and stuff, usually she molts at 2 a.m. in the night, and when I come in the morning to give some water, I see that she molted, right? So your chance of actually seeing the whole process is really low, like even if you're very, very careful of it, right? Because I think at the end of the day, it's like it's not true, but it feels like the tarantula knows that you're watching her and she's just not gonna molt. Like I had experience like this, because it just never happened live. I mean, you could probably get a sighting or two out of your 100 tarantulas, but it's really a rare occasion. So
Yeah,
think
I see a tarantula molting. I mean, I have around 200 tarantulas, and I spot one or two at the weekend, maybe at least one. I mean, one maybe, but it's not a guaranteed. So, and I look at them, except for sorials, because I can't really see them every day, and yeah, you never see it coming. So it's a false hope you're gonna catch tarantula mid-molt, but yeah.
like if these guys if your viewers imagine how many tarantulas 200 tarantula is, plus all the slings that you have, right?
Yeah.
So that's like if you average out that a tarantula molts in 90 days, that means that she molts, let's say, for example, 3 to 4 times a year. Let's say that's like the slings molt in like 10 to 15 days, and they're the big ones molt in like 300 or so. And then let's average it out at 90. I think your place of tarantulas, like they molt at least 5 tarantulas molt per, I would say per day. Okay, maybe not per day, but like 5 to 10 per week, right? And you only spot like one.
Yeah.
And they molt like constantly. Like you can have a smaller like collection like I have, and I get a molt like, let's say, every 2 to 3 weeks maybe, if I'm lucky. But you're actually getting like multiple molts a week.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's hard to keep up and even notice which one is going to molt. Like you could be checking out 50 tarantulas and it's not the 50 ones that you checked, but it's the other 50, right? So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to spot, yeah. So you're gonna see when you have a tarantula, and you're gonna, I mean, basically just follow the tips, and you're gonna know when it's molting. And if you have one, it's easier, but don't expect it to molt a bunch of times if it's bigger. So yeah, that's really it. So let's move on to the next topic, which is a good one for me because I do not agree that tarantulas, if they are not fossorial, need a lot of substrate. And it's gonna get controversial, but well, I mean, 3 inches, 4 inches. Because I had, and I still have, a lot of tarantulas, and before I had, basically, I'm in transition from going to all plastic boxes because it was much cheaper to get, to all glass enclosures for the bigger tarantulas. And with a lot of them, and brachypelmas as well, they dig some holes, but even if you give them 6 inches of substrate, they don't make a hole. The only, like right now, I have like 13, 14 tarantulas in their final glass enclosure with lighting and everything. And the only tarantula that has a hole and is living in it, and I basically didn't see the tarantula for like 4 months. I just spotted it like 2 days ago, and I know it's alive, is Aponophema cinerufum. Every other tarantula that is deserty-like, that likes to dig, is not in a hole. So I think my opinion is controversial, but if tarantula has ability to dig, it doesn't mean it's going to dig. So maybe if it's a fossorial, but like you could just make a height for it, like a cork bark height, and like dig it up in the dirt, in the soil, so it can go in the hole, or it has a cover up option, so if it's scared, she can hide. But I think that's pretty much it what tarantula needs. What do you think?
I've tried tarantula substrate with everything, like all the how would I say this, controversial steps that you can not take in tarantula hobby and stuff like that. Like I've tried having tarantulas on pure sand. It's not pure sand, but it's like rocky, like the thing that you do for reptiles, right? I had a GBB in that for over 3 years, like adult female. She had a blast, like she was webbing like crazy.
Yeah, it was
So she actually,
play something, right? I remember that.
yeah, it was like clay, and it went really good. Like there was no trouble at all. She was always like plump, always eating. Um, she didn't dig not even once in her lifetime, right? And it was just okay, right? So the point is that she made her home out of what she had. Like she had plenty of big wood pieces in there, and she just webbed it out. And she was like in a, you know, Harry Potter movie with all that webbing and her home. And maybe if I had like substrate, normal, like I don't know, substrate, from outside or whatsoever, she would maybe dig, right? But there just wasn't any need of her digging. Like if you take, for example, we all put them in soil that's like really dirt, like, you know, like European dirt. How would I put this? Like soil that's European, like in the forest, right? But if you check, if you went into the wilds, like I was even trying to go, I mean, I did go to Cyprus to hunt for tarantulas, and
So that's 100. That's a video special. That's a 500 video special. So
oh,
that's cool. There's a first hint, guys. If you subscribe.
oh, I didn't know that. He just told me now. But if you think about it, like you're gonna see in the video if he's gonna upload it to you,
I mean, if people
all the lucky followers. Yeah.
maybe released one day.
And if you're gonna see the video, like you're gonna see that actually tarantulas in the wild, especially when I was up for the Cyprus tarantula, right? Um, it was like she was living in rocks, right? Like literal rocks, like in the holes of a rock where there was no soil, nothing, like literally nothing, like a spider that you see, I don't know, when you go into the caves, right? So, and I was searching for her everywhere, like in the forest, in the, I don't know, under the stones and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, I found her in like a complete rock wall where there was just a hole and her spider web. And Cyprus is covered in sand, so it literally has no soil like we put in terrariums, and they still thrive, right? And it's the same for GBB, which lives like on a very sandy stuff in Venezuela. And then when you check all the Mexican tarantulas, all the brachypelmas, if you check the videos and stuff like that, when they go, they find them in the embankments of the road. And it's also sandy, like it's like that hard sand, like hard soil that's usually not even plants grow in it, right? Nothing grows in it.
Yeah,
So
basically live where they can. They find a hole from like a mammal or something, and they just go in. If it's not,
yeah,
if it's available.
and it's just really absurd. All this needs to be done like this. So much substrate needs to be put here and stuff like that. That's just like really horrendous, right? So I think even like, did you ever actually see a tarantula like fall like in your terrarium and get like, I mean, if it falls for 2 meters, I can definitely say that it's gonna hurt herself, right? But if it falls, I don't know, from 20 centimeters, I never seen a tarantula get hurt. Like it might happen, like to a person, right? If I tried to, I don't know, jump from a table, like I could hurt myself.
Yeah.
but it's not very possible, right? And
Yeah.
there was another big thing which I want to mention. There was a thing where everyone was saying, oh, don't put those hard meshes at the top, right? So all the terrariums of Exoterra or whatsoever, they are built with those fine meshes, where everyone was saying that the tarantula can get stuck in it, and it can lose a tooth, and then, a fang, and then it's gonna fall down and stuff like that. I've had only terrariums like this, and it did not happen to me till now. Like, I've never even seen a tarantula go on a, except one time when my GBB was in that enclosure, and she was, for the first day, she went through the mesh lid top. But after that, I've never seen it in my life at the mesh lid top. Like, if she feels secure and she feels good in a terrarium, she has no point to go to the mesh top.
Yeah.
Like, it's just no way.
I mean, I had tarantulas, they go on the top and they explore, but they never got stuck on it. I mean, they even bite the top. I mean, my extensis that was in too small of an enclosure, but it was at my mother's place. I moved it out, and now she doesn't do that anymore. So yeah, maybe there is other problems with it, with your enclosures, that it doesn't have a good height, or that it's too small or something. Maybe it's that. It doesn't need more dirt. More dirt doesn't solve anything. And I'm about at the point where I have a new or glass enclosures, and I have like a bunch of Fosoria tarantulas, and I am about to do something that no one would do, and I'm just gonna put them in the glass enclosures with, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches of dirt, give them a nice height, and they will strive, and I will maybe see them, because right now I have a Kilobrachys electric blue and I never see it because it's in a hole. So what's the point of nice pretty tarantulas if you can never see them? That's my opinion on that.
Damn.
So my opinion, and I think Matitz agrees, is if tarantula has a good enclosure, it has a proper height, if it's a jumpy old world that it can go into, it doesn't need 10 inches of dirt, because even if it digs, it's gonna be outside. Like Lasiodora species are monsters and they never dig. Maybe when they're juvenile, but when they're older, they never dig. Why? Because they're fine. Otherwise, they would.
Like, there's another, I would point out another, like, how should I say, like example.
Yeah.
So I have a terrarium here at my apartment. It houses a Pamphobeteus machala. She's about like 20 to 25 centimeters. So that's like, she's about 8 to 8.5 inches in diagonal leg span. She has a terrarium that's about 40 by 40, I think, and it's covered in like, it's how do you say this? Like,
Bioactive.
yeah, it's a bioactive enclosure, thanks. So it has a lot of flowers, right? I mean, not flowers, but like grass and stuff and leaves, and
Yeah.
like everything is thriving. It's like a jungle. Like, if you would see it, it's a proper jungle. And I have a cat, and this cat, every day she goes on top of the mesh lid, so the mesh lid of the terrarium, and the cat slips on it, right? So on the top. And this tarantula is never in a hide. She's always outside, and you can see her every minute. Like, she's never been hiding away. Like, she's always outside, always researching, but she's fine. And she's fine because there's like so many leaves covering the mesh top. She's having a blast inside. She's never threat posing. She's never, I don't know, like running away when you open the lid. Like, it's really amazing to see. So if a tarantula is thriving in an enclosure, she's not gonna give all those weird poses that everyone is having on here, right? Posting every day. Oh, this one is giving me threat pose. Oh, this one is that and that. Like it's literally like it's just about how you do it. Like it's so yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Basically, again, have some like guidance on how to build an enclosure, but you never need to follow it like to a T. Basically, is the saying. Have enough substrate that tarantula can maybe dig like a small hole, but it doesn't require it. If you have enough heights in the enclosure, even old worlds won't attack you when they see you and when you open the enclosure, because they have a hiding spot and they can hide in it and they don't feel stressed out. So yeah, that's basically our advice. It's controversial, but I don't care. People just keep spamming, and the dark den have a saying, there's never enough substrate, but I think there's a saying that I support, you can have too much substrate. So yes, that is gonna be it for this week's video. Thank you, Matits, for joining me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Oh.